Shalom, Mishpacha. Havarim. I hope you guys had a great day. Today is Monday. We are officially, yesterday we were officially in the month of July. But I say officially because it's my first work day in the month, Monday. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great day. I had a wonderful weekend. We had a beautiful Shabbat. Yeah, sometimes for Shabbat, what we do anyway, and I would encourage you to do the same. We wake up and we give our first fruits to Yahweh. We pray. And then wherever he leads us, sometimes we'll have a word study. Sometimes we watch Alan's videos. Sometimes, because I am a single mother and my son, he'll be 20 in a couple of weeks. So sometimes I will, lead us in a word study. And then sometimes we just spend time together. And this past Shabbat, we just got in the truck and just drove around spending family time. And that to me is so special because Abba really takes over. Sometimes we get into these conversations and it's so amazing now that my child is older to really get into these conversations of not just mother and son or parent and child, but to really see him blossoming, into his manhood. He's still a young man. Of course, he's still at home and he still has a lot to learn, but Abba is doing something with our young ones nowadays, and it's just so amazing. I feel like I have this light on, so I do apologize if you guys see that glare on my glasses. I have my glasses on because I have the word right here. So I want to dedicate this message to the young ones. Oh my goodness. I was talking to Cammie, and who's become such a dear friend and sister to me. And I also was talking to Dave. You guys know them as Dave and Debbie. I'm sorry, not Dave. I was talking to Debbie, but you guys know them in the comment section as Dave and Debbie. And they're all part of our Mishpacha family. And they are so wonderful to me. They've become a very special part of my life. I talk to Debbie and Cammie almost every day. But I was talking to them about our young ones and how we all said we were so inspired by the fact that Abba has led these young newcomers to our family, to the loving Mishpacha, part of our Havarim, to the live stream. And how none of us, we wouldn't have known their ages if they wouldn't have said anything. And I am just so, I'm going to try to keep it together because y'all know I'm a big crybaby. But it just got me thinking about my son. So this video is dedicated to you all. If your parents can, if they can encourage you to watch this, I just want to give you a little encouragement and just to let you know I'm just not someone on here, young ones, that is not speaking from experience. Well, first I'm speaking definitely from Abba because he loves you. Yahweh loves you so much, and he's so committed. He's so committed to having you a part of his loving hedge of protection, having you guarded and having you come in and listen, and having us as older ones learn from you as well. This is one thing I've told my son his entire life. Abba has used my son, and again, my son is 19. He'll be 20 in 3 weeks at the end of this month. But ever since my son could walk and talk, maybe even before then, Abba has used him to teach me things. So don't ever let anyone, especially now that you have chosen to learn more and to hopefully keep learning more, keep getting your cup filled up with that living water, that don't let anyone convince you or tell you that you can't teach others. And how you teach others, young or old, is through your actions. Yahweh will use you in your character, sometimes in the things you say, um, to teach us older ones. You know, we don't know everything. We're not perfect. We are, we just trust and believe in the perfect one, which is Yahweh and his son Yeshua and the Ruach HaKodesh. They're perfect. So we don't have to be perfect. And you don't have to think that everything that you say, the things that you learn, the things that you're not being taught, or the things that you haven't learned yet has to be perfect, because it will never be, ever, until we go to the Shamayim. Just to give you a little bit of, I feel like I'm saying a lot, but just to give you a little bit of examples. So my son, when I first made the determination, there was many things that happened, but one thing that happened, and he might have been 16. This was about 4 years ago. I was in my word all the time, praying a lot, speaking to everyone that wanted to hear about Elohim. But one day, I just had the TV on, so the TV was kind of watching me. I wasn't watching the program, and it happened to be on a show that I used to watch all the time that I loved. I used to love this show. I used to watch it religiously, which means I used to watch it all the time. And this particular show, the main character in the show was a homosexual. Now, at this time, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, oh, it's just on. I'm not really paying attention to it. But Yahweh used my son to walk into the room. And he just casually said, oh, Mama, I'm surprised you're watching that, and that you still watch that show. I wouldn't think that you would watch that anymore. And he just casually got his water and said, I love you, and went back in his room and closed the door. But that little witness right there, that was Abba telling me, I'm bringing you forward and bringing you out of the norm. I didn't call you to be like everybody else. I didn't call you to do this. And his word teaches us that homosexuality is an abomination to him, which means that it's very grotesque. And one thing that Brad Scott, if I can find the the video that he did of one of his teachings, it made a lot of sense to me. He said, well, the main reason why homosexuality is grotesque and an abomination to our Father is because it stops reproduction. And the Father is all about growth. And he's all about a man and a woman and family. And there can't be a growth in family if there's not a man and a woman. So that's one of the reasons. And that made enough sense to me when I would confirm that. But at that time, 4 years ago, when my son said that, and he just said it very casually and walked back in the room, I knew that was Yahweh telling me, I'm bringing you forward. And when things like that happen in my life, just like it will happen to you if it hasn't already, it's just him giving you what you need at the time that you need it, letting you know, listen, this is the daily bread that I want you to feed on, and I want you to take it in. And if I wasn't obedient at that time, Yahweh, our Abba, Elohim, he might have kind of slowed up the growing process, because it's all about us being obedient. Just like with your parents, no matter how old you get, your parents is your parents. Your mom is your mom, your dad is your dad, and they love you enough no matter how old you get to tell you the truth in love. The same with our Father, even more so with our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. When he sends people by our path, like my son was, like he sent my son to me to remind me, this isn't what you want to do anymore. We're growing past this. Very simple, very subtle. I thought about it. My son said he loved me. He walked casually in the room like it was nothing. I thought about it just for a quick second. I said, you know what? He's right. I turned off the program. Not only did I turn off that program, I collect DVDs because I've always been into film and theater and anything that can interest my artistic side. And so because I collect DVDs, I had every single season of this show that I hadn't got rid of I turned it off, and not only did I turn it off, I got up, I took all of those DVDs, not just that particular show, but anything that I felt Abba was leading me to get rid of that wouldn't please him. You know, because why I did that, because I didn't want to displease my father. I didn't want to be in a position where if I went to sleep that night, I was questioning anything. So I went through my DVDs. I got rid of anything that I thought he wouldn't be happy about. I went through my books because I love books. I went through my books, and then later on, I think shortly after that, it wasn't that long. Me and my son, we did a complete cleanup of the house, a spring cleaning, if you will. And my son had books that I had gotten him just because I just wanted to keep him reading. And this is before the books that I had bought him was before I really accepted Abba Yahweh's call, and before I really was being obedient to his Ruach. I had bought my son lots of Greek mythology books. I forgot Percy Jackson, that, and just Greek mythology, and I don't know, all those different books. But anyway, I had talked to my son about, you know, what it is to walk in Elohim. And it's not about you know, saying, oh, I'm going to walk in the name of Yahweh, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to throw this away. I'm not going to do this anymore. No, it's about going to him in prayer and saying, Father, I just want to please you. Can you show me? Can you guide me as to what is pleasing to you that's in my room or in my house? And if I have a question about it, please answer it for me. If I'm not sure about it, send me to a video, particularly one of Alan's videos, one of Vanessa's videos, one of Hanu's videos, someone that I know is proclaiming your name every day, every time they come on here. Lead me to them, Yahweh, and let me, show me if this is not for you. And when you do that, when you go to him like that, especially in secret, you know, and when I say in secret, it's not a bad thing. It's just like you don't want anyone to know that you and Yahweh, you guys are talking amongst each other, and that what he tells you is specifically for you. That's your daily bread. And he'll guide you, and it'll be so quick. Believe me, it'll be so quick. So what happened with me and my son, we had a study, and I shared that with him, how Yahweh, you know, he doesn't like for us to say we love him, but yet we are bringing things into our home, into our lives that we put above him, whether that's an idol, whether that's a false god, whether that's a game, a video game that we're playing more than we're talking to him, you know, anything. And before I knew it, I can't remember what I was doing, but I went in my son's room, and he had a bag full of these books, video games. I think it was a poster of something. And things that I hadn't even really thought about. And I was like, wow. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this stuff. And at first he was like, I'm not happy about it, but I really thought about what you said. But see, that was Abba moving in my son's life. He was moving in my son's life because the Greek mythology, all of those books were praising and lifting up false gods, lifting up false mighty ones that my son had no business really entertaining. But when you don't know, you don't know. But when you do know, and when Yahweh brings someone by your path, especially when it's your parent, that gives you the wisdom because they love you and they want you to live a long time, to live in shalom, which is perfect wholeness and wellness in our Elohim. You know, we're not perfect, but he wants us to live in our life and right now in this living experience with a peacefulness. You know, Proverbs, if I can find this scripture, let's see. I might post it in the comments because I'm looking at my time here. But yes, Proverbs 3:24. Yahweh reminds us how much he loves us and how he wants us when we lay down at night for our mind to be so perfectly whole and at peace that we have sweet dreams. This is Proverbs 3:24. When you lie down, you need not be afraid, and you shall lie down and your sleep shall be sweet. So when we go through our day and he gives us daily bread for us to consume, he wants us to be obedient so that when we lay down at night, we don't have to be concerned with anything. We don't have to have any questions or doubts about anything, because as soon as he gives us our personal consumption, our personal bread that we eat, which means that he's going to bring little tidbits. We're going to have little moments throughout our day where we're reminded to do things that are pleasing to him, and that's a safety for us, so we can walk in safety, you know. Then at night we have no worries at all, and we sleep sweet and peaceful and shalom and wholeness. So I'm gonna end it there by giving a few shout outs to you guys. You're so inspiring and you have just touched me. I've been thinking about you ever since I saw your name in the live stream. Now, first, Alex Dackery. Oh my goodness. Young man, you are so... Oh my gosh, here I go. The Ruach. Okay. You're so amazing. I know your parents, your mom must be so proud of you, because you are young, but you are of an age to where you know who Elohim is, and you are choosing in this dark world right now with your peer group to follow Elohim and to kawah and wait for him. I watched a couple of your videos and I was so inspired by you. Little brother, and I hope you don't mind me. I'm calling you little brother because you're younger than me and you're my son's age. So, but Alex Dackery, please, if everyone can take the time, all of my subscribers that watch this, and if you comment, please go click on his link in the show more section and subscribe to him and keep him encouraged. He's only made, I think, maybe 2 videos. And then he has a couple of songs out, if you can encourage him with that too. But please, this young man is so intelligent. The wisdom that flows from his mouth, I know is from the Ruach. And just in the small 2 videos that he's made, he's really encouraged me. Yahweh has had me on this message of the mind, and how Hashatan wants to take our mind and our thoughts so that we forget to kawah and wait for Yahweh. Anyway, his name is, the CHEDWAH of Yahweh. His name is Alex Dackery. I'll leave his YouTube channel in the show more section. Little Kaylee McMillan, that's Dave and Deb's daughter. she was in the live stream. I don't know if she commented, but she was there with them listening to the live stream with her parents. Kaylee, I have a special place in my heart for you. You keep coming back. If you have questions in the live stream, ask your mom and your dad if you can type a question, or ask them to ask a question. Or if you just want to say something and praise Elohim, go ahead, because you know what? Caregiver, she gives praise reports, which I love that. I love that. So yes, Kaylee, you do that. And then there's Bug Larry. She is one of my good friends, Melissa Larry, who's also part of the Mishpacha. That's her daughter, and she's 7, I believe. Is Bug? I believe Bug is 7 or 8. I don't know. But she asked that question and taught me something. Bug, I didn't know. Whenever I pray, before you asked that question, and then I prayed on it, and Abba confirmed the answer to me too. I would pray and I would tell people to wait if they tried to interrupt me. So good question. And then there's Logan. He's 17. I think that's it. If I'm missing anyone else, please comment below so I can give them a shout out the next go around. But I just want to tell you guys, I love you so much, and you stay in Yahweh and you stay encouraged. Till the next one. Shalom.